Take a slow, deep breath and let it go. Feel your body grow heavy, your mind soften, and the world outside fade away. Tonight I will take you to a quiet medieval village where the night is calm and the only sound is the gentle rhythm of a blacksmith's forge. Close your eyes and let yourself drift with me into the glow of the embers. Our story begins in a small village, deep in the heart of the 15th century. The streets are quiet, the air is cool, and the moon hangs above like a silver lantern. Inside a stone-walled forge, a blacksmith works by the warmth of glowing embers. He wears a simple russet tunic, sleeves rolled high, a leather apron across his chest. In his hands, a hammer rises and falls. Clang! Clang! Each strike slower and softer than the last. The iron glows red against the anvil, sparks lifting into the night like tiny fireflies. The blacksmith hums softly, an old song passed down from master to apprentice. Beside him, a bucket of water waits. He dips the iron and hiss, steam curling upward like a sigh of relief. This is no ordinary tool. Hidden inside the wooden handle, he will place a charm, a small copper coin. In those days, such charms were thought to bring strength, protection, and luck. The blacksmith smiles faintly, knowing he is giving more than iron. He is giving a blessing. The forge grows quiet, its embers still glowing warmly. The blacksmith removes his apron, hangs it by the door, and steps into the moonlit street. The cobblestones shimmer faintly with dampness. A cool breeze drifts by, carrying the scent of rosemary and mint from a nearby garden. Somewhere, a cat pads silently along a wooden fence, its shadow stretching long in the lantern light. The blacksmith walks slowly, boots tapping softly. To his left, a wooden cart leans against a wall, one wheel sunk into the earth. To his right, the bakery rests, its windows shuttered, yet the sweet aroma of bread still lingers in the air. He pauses at the sign of the inn, painted with the image of a lute. Once filled with laughter, now the inn is silent, save for the slow breathing of travelers asleep within. He listens, to the rustling of leaves, to the distant stream flowing at the edge of the village. The whole world feels safe at rest. The blacksmith continues on, following the path to the village's edge. Mist curls low across the fields, silver under the moon. Ahead he sees the old watermill. Its great wooden wheel turns slowly, dipping into the stream. The sound of water is steady, calming, timeless. He sits on a worn bench near the mill, placing his bundle of tools beside him. The lantern at his feet glows softly, its flame dancing in the breeze. Here he rests, listening to the water, the night birds, and the distant bell that marks midnight. The village sleeps, the forge rests, and the embers glow only in memory now.
Breathe in, slowly, and let it flow out again. Softly, like mist over the river. Each breath takes you deeper, calmer, safer. Our story continues as the blacksmith rests by the old watermill. The sound of water turning the great wheel is steady, almost hypnotic. Each creak of the wood, each splash of the stream, feels like the heartbeat of the night. The moon reflects upon the surface of the water, trembling with every ripple. The blacksmith watches quietly, his mind wandering, his body heavy from the long day. He sets his hammer down beside him, running a calloused hand along its handle. Within the wood, hidden deep, is the copper charm, placed not just for good fortune, but for memory. The coin belonged to his grandfather, once carried into battle, now resting inside the tools he shapes for others. He thinks of how many generations have lived in this village. The cobblestones worn by countless footsteps, the inn's beams darkened by centuries of firelight, the bell tower above, which has rung the hours for longer than anyone can recall. The blacksmith closes his eyes and listens. The night is never truly silent. There is the faint song of crickets in the grass, the hush of wind through tall trees at the edge of the fields, the soft rustle of thatched rooftops shifting gently under the breeze. Somewhere a dog barks once, then quiets, curling back into slumber. From the monastery across the river, a bell tolls softly, one chime only, marking the passing of midnight. Its hollow echo drifts through the air, fades into the mist, and lingers in the heart. The blacksmith remembers when he was a boy. He would sneak into his father's forge at night, staring at the glowing embers, imagining they were fallen stars. His father once told him, "Each spark carries a wish upward and vanishes only when it is fulfilled." Even now, grown and strong, he still watches sparks with the same quiet wonder. He rises from the bench, stretching slowly. His boots crunch softly on the damp earth as he follows the mill stream. Back into the village, the mist parts gently before him. Curling around stones and fences, the moon watches silently, silvering everything it touches. He passes the herb garden once more, now glowing faintly with dew. The rosemary gleams in the moonlight. The mint leaves shimmer like tiny mirrors. And he recalls how villagers once believed rosemary kept away bad dreams, if placed beneath a pillow. The blacksmith smiles at the thought and plucks a small sprig, tucking it carefully into his belt. As he walks, his steps slow, his breathing steady. The whole village seems to breathe with him. Shuttered windows hold warm candlelight within. Chimneys release the faintest curls of smoke. The streets are empty, yet alive with a sense of watchful peace. Sleeps, and above the stars keep silent watch. He passes the herb garden once more, now glowing faintly with dew. The rosemary gleams in the moonlight. The mint leaves shimmer like tiny mirrors. And he recalls how villagers once believed rosemary kept away bad dreams, if placed beneath a pillow. The blacksmith smiles at the thought and plucks a small sprig, tucking it carefully into his belt. As he walks, his steps slow, his breathing steady. The whole village seems to breathe with him. Shuttered windows hold warm candlelight within. Chimneys release the faintest curls of smoke. The streets are empty, yet alive with a sense of watchful peace. At the center of the square, he stops by the old well. The stone is cool to the touch, smoothed by hundreds of hands. A bucket rests nearby, rope coiled neatly. He lowers the bucket, hears the distant splash, then pulls it back up. The water inside shimmers in the moonlight, reflecting his face, tired, calm, at peace. He drinks slowly, the cool water washing away the day's heat. Nearby, the inn creaks in the night breeze. Through a crack in the shutters, faint lute music drifts, perhaps a bard still awake, strumming softly to himself. The melody is gentle, like a lullaby. The blacksmith leans against the well, listening, letting the music settle his heart. A stray cat brushes against his leg, purring softly, then curls up by the bucket's shadow. The blacksmith strokes its fur once, then leaves it to dream. He walks on, toward his own cottage at the edge of the village. The path is lined with lanterns, each glowing faintly, though some have burned down to the last of their oil. He carries a small flint, stopping at one lantern, relighting it with practiced care. The tiny flame flickers, steadies, and joins the other lights in guarding the night. His cottage is simple, built of stone and timber, ivy climbing its walls. Inside, the hearth glows faintly with leftover embers. He kneels, places fresh wood upon them, and breathes gently. The embers catch, glow brighter, and soon the fire crackles softly, filling the room with warmth. He removes the sprig of rosemary, placing it carefully beside his bed. He hangs his hammer upon a wooden peg, the copper charm within glowing faintly in the fire's light. And then, with a deep sigh, he lies down. Outside, the forge rests. The village sleeps, and above the stars keep silent watch.